Good morning, Steve Reed in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Grain prices are sharply higher overnight. The soybean meal, soybean oil, wheat all made new highs for the move, taking out last Thursday's highs. Corn is just slightly below those highs, while beans are still considerably below those highs. I think word that the Black Sea exports are going to be stopped, and if the war were to end today, it would be another possibly month or two before those would resume, has got Matif corn futures all-time highs, Matif wheat futures also at all-time highs. There's some talk that as much as 15 million tons of wheat, maybe another 5 million tons of European wheat may not be available for world buyers. There's also this 15 to 16 million tons of corn out of Ukraine that probably won't be shipped anytime soon. And there's talk about China possibly trying to switch some of those sales to other origins. We also will be having a tour in Brazil of CONAB, looking at their soybean crop. Some estimates are as low as 121 million metric tons for their soybean crop versus USDA's 134. We also are hearing lower estimates of Argentina corn and soybean crop numbers, and the Brazil corn plantings for the second crop are about 60 to 65% done. The conditions in central Brazil are dry, and that raises concern about the production prospects of their second crop, which is their largest crop. So on March 9th, USDA has a big problem that try to resolve, in that they tend to be very conservative as far as changing global numbers dramatically. But we could see somewhere between maybe 10 and 15 million tons less beans, and somewhere between, let's say, 8 to 10 million tons less corn in South America, in which shifts the matrix. And if it does some of that shift to the U.S., then we're looking at tighter 21-22 carryouts here, and the need for these higher prices. We then shift gears to look at 2022 crops. And the big concern is that with this war going on, Ukraine may not be able to plant their crops on time. Fuel shortages, obviously, infrastructure demand destruction, seed availability, fertilizer availability. Farmers now might be fighting rather than getting ready to plant their crops. We also have a stagnant U.S. forecast in which the southern plains remains dry, Delta, Tennessee, and Ohio Valley remains wet. And we'll see what impact that has on spring crop conditions. So we're watching the outside financial markets. We'll be watching the President of the United States State of the Union address. Stocks are lower, dollar and crude are higher, all impacting what's going on in Ukraine. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day, and remember, always try to treat people like you yourself would like to be treated.